started by Councilman Bill Peduto, is now a project of Pennsylvania Voice, which is a 16-state initiative that focuses on civic engagement and citizen-driven public policy and leadership development. It is the 5th year of the Guyasuta Fellowship Program. Guyasuta, local Seneca Indian chief, helped the English and the French and the Americans through the woods of this part of Pennsylvania. And then when they evidently turned on him, he slaughtered lots of them to prove a point. But, you know, I don't know much about history. Is that right?
It's not entirely accurate.
He had his day. Anyways, Guyasuta Fellowship Program this year.
That's a different session. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back. Guyasuta Fellowship Program this year is focusing on community-driven, sustainability-based economic development and investment. We just kind of, timing was everything when they announced the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the ARA Act. We're like, that's good, we'll frame it around that. So the idea is like, how can you use that concept, some of that money maybe, to build locally driven programs that are green in that. So this is our 12th session. We've done, most of the Guyasuta fellows who are participating can tell you that at this point they've listened to an ungodly amount of information from all sorts of experts and community leaders and nutcases, whatever. Tonight I couldn't advertise, I could, but I chose to be a little more discreet. Tonight basically is 5th Forbes. How not to do that. Community-driven, sustainability-based economic investment and development. And so we wanted to take pause, like we figured out it was 10 years since Mayor Tom Murphy announced plans for the ill-fated 5th Forbes project. Ill-fated at the time, but actually some of the stuff that came through that process you can find down the street and around the corner. And we thought it was a good time to take a minute to listen to the lessons of 5th Forbes. You will notice up there's a photograph, as I have on all of our sessions. That is the window of the former Baum Boulevard Dodge. You may recall what happened when we put our faith in the invisible hand of the free market economy a couple of years ago. The shit hit the fan. I said I wasn't going to swear. It hit the fan. And as a matter of fact, Baum Boulevard Dodge doesn't exist anymore. They had to de-identify everything because that was part of their agreement with whatever private capital entity owns whatever is left of Chrysler and Dodge until it's out of business. The only thing that's left in the window is that phrase, a better deal. I think we could use a better deal of some sorts. And I would hope that the education that our panel of experts or semi-experts or just concerned parties over the past several months have given the Guyasuta fellows will give them a clue as to what that might look like. So tonight, without further ado, actually there is further ado, I want to introduce, and he's downstairs, God bless him, but we'll get him up later. Mike Rhodes is a friend of mine from Washington, D.C. He's also a University of Pittsburgh student, and he was telling me about a project that they were engaged in. He's our project administrator for the Guyasuta Fellowship Program, and they did some good stuff at the University of Pittsburgh recently. So I would like to start tonight by giving Mike props, even though he's down letting people in the front door, by inviting folks from the University of Pittsburgh to talk for about 5 minutes about the work they did, because it's very relevant to the work that we've been doing as a fellowship program, and then we'll slide into our panel discussion and questions. So come on up, guys. And I've got a big hole in my head for names, so would you please reintroduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you did with the Pitt Green Fund?
Yeah. Well, my name's Eva, this is Becky, and this is Seth, and we're the Green Fund team from the University of Pittsburgh.
The GFT.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. We can use that. So basically, the Green Fund is a proposed $5 increase to our student activities fee. that will create a huge fund of money that will go solely towards sustainable projects on campus. And we'd also accept money as an endowment fund, like voluntary contributions from community members. And both of those pots of money would be run by a student group who would decide where this money would go. And also the projects would come from the students, so it'd be a really great way to see them invest in their own future and see their own creative ideas come to fruition on their own campus. And we thought we thought it was a great opportunity not only to increase the sustainability on our campus, but also increase our reputation as a sustainable university, because currently we have a C on our green grade and all the other schools are doing a lot more things. And
Just going to push you up to C plus maybe?
Maybe. We're trying to just at least increase the student involvement on that end, because that's what we can do. So,
yeah, and the committee that will decide where the money is allocated to which projects will be made up of 9 students. We're calling it the Student Sustainable Projects Committee, or the SSPC. And I mean, faculty and administration will be allowed to advise, but there'll be a student majority vote because it is student money. And the responsibilities would be to have multiple meetings a semester. Projects will be proposed, and then they'll decide where to go. Ideally, we're going to have about $180,000 from the fund, but yeah. How we really got this to happen was Eva came up with the idea. She transferred.
I didn't think it would work at first.
Yeah, we didn't think it would work at first.
Best idea.
But she convinced us, and then we did a lot of grassroots techniques. We petitioned, we got over 1,600 signatures, just going to the library and asking people to support this. That's over 10% of our student body. And eventually we got enough people to support it that our student government board even unanimously supported it and voted their support. So.
Yeah, pretty much we caught the university by surprise to a large degree. Dean Humphrey, who's the Dean of Students at the University of Pittsburgh, I came to her kind of in a small little meeting and kind of plugged this idea. She said, "Oh, you guys are being so green, you're being so great, all this wonderful stuff," just to kind of shove me under the rug and get me out of there. And so we actually went and did it, and one of our representatives higher up went to talk to her, said, "You are not doing any of this on my campus. We're not going to have any extra funds." And so we said, "Well, if the students say we want it, you have to do it." And so we got those 10%, and now the administration is kind of bending. They're really scared of us, but rightfully so. Fortunately, we have a lot of support on Student Government Board. They've helped us to kind of shape what this is going to look like. The SSP itself will have, as we said, right now what's going to happen is we're going to start out with probably about $40,000 of funding to do a pilot program, which is still a pretty appreciable amount of money. That's just kind of we're not charging the fee yet. It's just some leftover from what students pay for activities already that did get used this year. And so what will happen is we'll start accepting projects from people in the Pitt community, professors and students alike. And this SSPC will then start allocating money probably in mid to late fall semester. Just so we still have to get the SSPC put together, put them through some training, and get them ready, take off the training wheels and get them ready to go. And then we'll execute everything in the spring and then take next fall to review everything. So we'll take a good long time to say, okay, what worked, what didn't work, are we ready to handle this much money? If we are, fingers crossed, we'll bump it up to $160,000, $150,000, depending on what the bureaucratic stuff ends up giving us. And then we'll put it into full effect spring and fall of 2012, just in time for us to graduate and hopefully see it all through. So we're really excited. Some of the projects that we're looking at ranges from as small as putting blue recycling bins in every dorm room on campus, all the way up to putting exercise equipment in the gyms that actually generates electricity and puts it back into the gym. To one of the things I'm most excited about is an energy awareness campaign. There's a product called Dashboard. You basically install this hardware and software in the computer systems at the school, and it'll monitor the energy use in a dorm. And it's been proven to really reduce the energy usage for particular buildings, so students can really see what they're doing. That's going to cost upwards of $90,000 to get that installed and executed and all the publicity around it. But eventually, once the infrastructure is there, we'll be able to do some competitions around it, and hopefully it'll really have a lasting effect. And if you go to www.pittgreenfund.com.
Pittgreenfund.com, is that right?
Yes, sir. PITTE greenfund.com. And that has a whole list of kind of our whole process. Our big thing is we're trying to be transparent through this whole thing. University of Pittsburgh, their endowment is not transparent, and we want to change that and hopefully put some pressure on them through this process to do that. So we're going to disclose everything that we do, all of our money, where it's coming from, what it's getting used on, our successes, our failures, any changes we make. You can find all the details you want on the Pitt Green Fund as they get put together. So please check that out and learn. You can see all of our project ideas and send us suggestions and make comments. We really like to hear what you have to say.
So I have one question. Does this mean that a group of people said, we will let you take money out of our pocket, $5 though it may be, to do something toward the greater good?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Could that be construed as a tax?
Could be.
People would be willing to be taxed on something that actually does
Good. It's hard to get there.
good.
It is what it is.
Holy shit.
That's two.
All right, well, at least on campus, guys. It'll never work in the real world, kids. Any questions?
How is the 9 people chosen?
You want to talk about
Me? Well, for the first board, we don't have a really set way. We're going to have a team. It'll be us and some other people, administration and people on the student government board, and we're going to put out applications and interview people and see who would be best for the job. And we want to have a diverse board of different environmentally minded people, but also science-minded people, and just have a good mixture. And then after that, it's kind of internal.
Pretty much, yeah. Us three, we're not going to serve on the board just as a matter of principle, because if we're getting all this money put together, we think it looks really bad if we can sit on this money and point where it's going. But we will be in charge of doing some of the selection, along with a bunch of other people from around the university. And then, if you actually go on the website, our entire charter for the Student Sustainable Projects Committee, which is the group that's allocating these funds, it actually details what the selection process, what the election process will be. It's kind of nitty-gritty, a lot of legal type speak that I don't even understand sometimes, but hey, that's why we have our lovely people in student government taking care of it. So yeah, that's pretty much how it'll work, more or less. If you want more details, welcome to send us more questions.
And that's pitgreenfund.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, thank you. And when Mike Rhodes comes in the room. All right, with that, I'm going to do a fast introduction, and I'm going to hand the proceedings over to Chris Potter, Editor Emeritus, Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media. Our panel of speakers, experts, renowned individuals. Ladies first, Bernie Lynch. Bernie Lynch is a consultant with a firm called
Strategic Development Solutions.
SDL.
The SDS.
SDS? Oh, like the Students for Democratic Society? Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've been in DC. Rob Stephanie serves as the director of the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh. Did I get it? Excellent. And was kind enough to be in the house tonight. Rob's a buddy, and I've worked with him, I guess, back since the 5th Forbes stuff on a lot of this stuff. Chris Potter is, as I said earlier, editor of Pittsburgh City Paper, and I'm Pat Clark, and you've heard enough from me. So at this point, may I hand it over to you, sir? And I guess order like Bernie, me, and then Rob, just after you do your spiel. You can tell we were tight ship.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out here, braving the weather. This is, of course, April 15th, Tax Day, a day of healing,
Pain.
a day of coming together as a community.